Okay, you're counting the time. I have no idea about time, right? So I moved to a new city a year ago, and I'm more engaged into local politics again, which is quite interesting. So I'm with the Pirates, and one of the topics is transparency. So one of the base topics is the budget of the community, which is notoriously underfinanced. So many communities have a huge debt, and Lübeck, it's my town, has a huge debt, really bad. And it's very difficult to find out where that comes from and how to reduce it. It's a really difficult problem. One of the problems is, of course, how to visualize it, how to get a feel for this thing. For me, it was an excuse to first do a new visualization. There are a couple of visualizations out there, but they are not satisfactory. So they don't give me more transparency. I don't understand more of the budget. Okay, I can do better, of course, and I had a good excuse to try the new VisualWorks version 8 with Apex. That means developing client-server or web applications with JavaScript from the VisualWorks image, which I thought was interesting, and I had to try it out. So, the budget looks kind of like this. It's a 900 plus pages budget document, and it is divided into 137 products, they call it now. So it's a new way of preparing the budget. It's called Dopische, whatever, balance or whatever. It's from the EU, and all communities in Europe should follow that to make it more comparable among them. So they have that already, and so these 137 products, they kind of look like this. So there's 4 pages per product. This is the, I don't know the English term, but it's basically the revenues and the expenses and the value of it. Then, of course, there's the balance, and there's a cash flow calculation. So this is what you get as a politician or as a citizen. This is what you get for this product. It's about traffic things. So they spend like 7 million a year on traffic stuff, and this is the information you get. And this, of course, 4 times 137 things, it's already like 600 pages, and if you really want to understand the budget, you really have to understand these pictures, these figures, and this is difficult. So we managed to get the data as CSV files, so machine readable form, and that looks kind of like, where is it? I don't see it. Maybe close. Okay, anyway, it's a big table, huge table with all kinds of stuff. So now I tried to visualize it, and that looks like that. So here you have the hierarchy of the different products. So these are products now. So you can click on each, and then you get on the right side practically the view you get from the PDF, but with a little bit more fancy stuff. So you see the proportions of the expenses or the income. You see some more detail. You see in which hierarchy it is. So this internal administration is about 11% of the whole budget. Central administration is 17%. So this, okay. So these are several products in this group of products. Oh, let's take this IT architecture management. So we understand kind of what that is. So they spend about 7 million on that. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Right. The above things are tree maps. which on the left side is the income, so the positive flow, and on the right side is the negative flow, and this background here shows the deficit of that, right? So for the whole thing, it is here, but you see it's a deficit, right? For other things which have a surplus, of course, you see maybe what's going on. I thought that was a surplus here. Oh, here we go. So there you have a surplus on that section there. So these show, of course, the internal division again and other things. So these, oh yeah, sorry, of course, German speaking is of advantage here. Sorry for that. So on the left side you have the positive things, and for every item you can get the little time series of how it developed. Or for the expenses, same. So the darker column, that's the current year of the planning. So the budget is prepared for half a year, and it's discussed in politics, and there are several versions and stuff. And this is basically what it's about. That's what is to be discussed. Then there are 2 years before that, and 3 years projection into the future, which is kind of useless. So interesting is this, and of course a little bit of the past. Usually the first one would be the final result of the year of 2 years ago. But of course, Lübeck, they are a little bit like 6 years behind, so it's a little difficult. So they changed the budget rules. So, okay, the products themselves, we have IT, architecture products, they have, oh, that's plenty, perfect. So, because I have not much more to say. So here are they're accumulated expenses and revenues which are not here in this, well, on the right side you see like the official form the budget has to be delivered to the state. And it consists of all kinds of single bookings of certain categories. And for example here, this is not relevant. Here you have the expenses for the people. So this is a position which usually rises, no matter who is governing. Yeah, okay, so that's basically all. So what I think I achieved is I compressed a lot of information into a small space, and to make it more accessible to normal people. But of course, after I developed this first version, I have a lot more ideas. For example, there has to be some kind of figures for the inhabitants, so that you can divide it by that, and you get numbers which are much closer to your normal reality. So if you know you spend 200 euros for a theater you never go to, then you think, oh, 2 euros, okay, but you cannot deal with 16 million. You don't see anything from that. And then eventually I would like to have a comparison of different communities so that they can really see on which parts they spend more than usual, or more than the others, or less than the others, or stuff like that. So to really get into a discussion why this community spends so much more, is it really necessary or not, or why that community gets so much more revenue from somewhere, so these kind of things. And final word about Apex and Visual Works, it's cool. It's so cool. So you usually have 3 browsers open. One is for the server side, server classes, one is for the client classes, which is JavaScript, and one is for CSS. And then you just type something, change something, accept, and then refresh the browser, it's all there. It's wonderful. It's just beautifully nice and clean development. Thank you.